Hey everyone, Keenan Gray here from DyeStat.com, bringing you an exciting edition of DyeStat discussions. Of course, the high school cross country season just getting underway, and our individual cross country rankings have just been released. Of course, Miss Jane Hedengren joins us right here from Timpview High School. She'll come in at number 3 in the girls' national individual rankings. Let's address, I guess, the big news that just happened recently. You're going to be a BYU Cougar right there in your hometown of Provo, not too far, I assume, from Timpview High School. Let's talk about that first. I mean, obviously, that is something that you've probably dreamed of since you were a little girl. Your dad went there. Your brothers go to school there. Tell us about that big decision and what it means to you.
Yeah, so I've just been thinking about it, obviously, for a little while, just with different colleges and trying to sort through the different options and what every college offers. But I'm very excited and happy with my decision. It's just a great team, a great place to train. I really love Utah and just running here and the altitude. It's fantastic. But yeah, it's definitely something that's kind of run through the family. Like my dad ran for BYU, my brother's currently running there. We're a big BYU fans, so I cannot be more thrilled to be joining BYU next year.
I'm sure Coach Taylor is thrilled, and also your Nike Elite program teammate Zariel Macchia, who just got done racing at the World U20 Championships in Peru. So when you see both your names, going to BYU, I mean, that's got to be pretty exciting, especially with the talent that you guys are bringing in. Because what Coach Taylor does a really good job is not only motivating her athletes, but developing athletes as well.
So true. Yeah, she does a phenomenal job of developing athletes. So I'm really looking forward to being teammates with Z and just kind of seeing who else signs, I guess, for the class of 2025. But right now, yeah, me and Z are just really excited to be teammates. So
And the Big 12 Conference, it seems like it's going to be one of the deepest conferences for the next couple of years. I mean, the teams that are in there: Utah, Colorado, BYU, of course, Oklahoma State, Iowa. I mean, the list goes on. What excites you the most about joining the Big 12 Conference?
that it's just stacked. Like the competition is phenomenal. So I think we're just going to be able to push each other to new heights and really get to compete at these meets. So
Another great junior year in track. How are we feeling going into this cross country season? How did the summer look for you? Tell us a little bit about it.
So the summer went pretty well. Just trying to build, of course, on like mileage and just little things here and there, seeing what I can do and trying to stay healthy throughout it all. But the summer was honestly like kind of rough training wise. So yeah. So I don't know if you know this, but I got like so sick before, like the day before Brooks, and was sick for like Nike and stuff. And that sickness lasted like month or a month and a half. Like it was brutal. And like I just could not run properly. Like my heart rate was skyrocketed. So luckily, like that sickness and illness has gone away, and I've been able to do a little bit more training since. So I think there's always just like little hiccups and stuff. But besides that, summer training has been really fun and good, just where I need to be. So
It's funny you mentioned that because I remember you talking about that when we were at Nike Outdoor Nationals, because the night before Brooks, you were in the hospital because of that. And
yeah.
then, of course, you go and run 9:48 in the 2 mile, and then a couple days later run 4:38 in the mile. Now, I'm not saying it was I will never say it's a blessing in disguise, because it wasn't, but like that tells us, like, had you been healthy, or I should say, what do you think you could have ran at both Brooks and Nike in those races?
That's a great question. So I guess like I don't know, since I train at altitude and you can kind of make your best estimated guesses, but that's an exciting factor coming down to sea level because you just don't really know. So me and my coach were hoping I could be anywhere from like 9:35 to 9:42 in that range, depending on like a lot of factors such as if it's windy, like who takes it out, so many different things. So, but that's kind of the range we were looking for. And then for the mile, we like to take like races one thing at a time. So for the mile, we hadn't evaluated that just quite yet. We had chat about Brooks because it was the next day, obviously, but I just woke up feeling so sick. So we kind of had to change the game plan a little bit, but that's kind of what my range was for that 2 mile.
Just to give people perspective, she still won the mile at Nike Outdoor Nationals and finished second overall in the Brooks PR and still ran great times too. So again, even when she's sick, she's still one of the best athletes in the entire country. But besides that, you kind of look at the state championships. You bring Lily Alder into the mix. I mean, that's a huge addition for the team. What's it like training alongside her? I know she's part of the Nike Elite program and obviously a huge help for your guys' squad this last year.
Yeah, great question. So, this past like summer, she went to Ecuador for like a month, and I did not realize how much I appreciated training with her until she left for that month. Because I was like, dang, like we still have people to train with, right? Like we train with the guys, and so there's always people to like push you and stuff. But it is just like amazing training with her, and I can kind of gauge my efforts off of her and like just see where we're at. We have different strengths, so on some of the like faster strides and stuff and like hill sprints, she'll get me, and then the longer stuff like tempos, I'll usually get her. And so it's just so nice having her there, like being able to key off each other and work hard together, and just be intentional in workouts. And so yeah, she's amazing, and we're just so lucky to have her.
First thing I thought of too, when you bring someone like Lily Alder in, who is a middle distance type of runner, whereas you're a longer distance type of runner. So the factor is that she helps you in speed workouts, you help her in the longer endurance type of stuff. When you say you guys like get each other at practice, how competitive does it really get at practice?
Well, I guess it just depends on the workout, right? Because some workouts are harder than others, and me and my coach, like, we just have a kind of a scale rating off of 10, like how hard the workout should be. And so if it's like a tempo-y workout, maybe we're just keying up for a little race for the weekend. We're not racing, like, of course not. We're just hitting our splits and hitting what our coach tells us to. And then on the more like rare occasion efforts where we're allowed to race like maybe one rep of the workout, like it's an all out 400 or something at the end, like then we'll race and it's so fun. And but most of the time we're just hitting our splits, hitting what our coach is telling us to do. And yeah, we just try to push
And
ourselves.
honestly, we knew that the spring season was going to be a big year for you just based off what we saw in indoor. I mean, indoor was just incredible based off what you accomplished. And one of the first races that I think of personally was Simplot Games. And you beat Sydney Thorfeldson's meet record time at 4,500 feet, and you almost broke 10 minutes on a wood track. Again, no one that's ever been to Simplot Games before doesn't understand that the fact that you're running on one of the oldest tracks in the country. How proud of you were you of that race and kind of just how it all unfolded that day for you?
Mm-hmm. I was really stoked with that effort. And going back to like Brooks, me and my coach, we always have kind of a range that we want to be in, that she'll give me. So we were like hoping for sub 10, like kind of in that range. And so, we were just so stoked. Like that was my first race back kind of from injury. And, I'd been working hard, but none of it had come through fruition in any races and stuff. So I was just so happy. Like I felt strong. I could push it each lap, and I was very consistent with my splits. And so, yeah, we were just walked away from that weekend with lots of like momentum and confidence. So.
Well, and really, I mean, you were racing at the same elevation that you've grown up running
Mm,
at. So really,
yeah.
it was just another day. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I mean, racing at sea level is definitely a big blessing. Like you, in the later stages of the races, you just feel so much stronger. But yeah, like 45,000 feet, that's like my go-to. So yeah.
4,500 feet. If she lived at
Oh,
45,000 feet, there
that's
would be that'd be way, way up in the stratosphere.
yes. Sorry, that my bad. But
Yeah,
40.
so but then you go to Nike Indoor Nationals. It's your opportunity to go. I think it was going to the Armory for the very first time. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, get to race at the Armory, get to race against your Nike Elite program teammates, specifically Elizabeth Leachman. I mean, that was the race everyone was looking forward to was that 2 mile run. I mean, how fun was it just to get out onto the another 200-meter bank track and one that's not wooden, which is nice,
Mhm.
and still come away with a great time and a great performance.
Yeah, I mean, every time like Elizabeth's at like toeing the line with me. I know it's gonna be fast, so it was just like such a fun race. Like the competition was great. The track is great. The crowd was great. So just coming back from like injury and stuff, I was getting used to like the competition nature again. But I had a great time. It was so fun. Being able to key into some race strategy. So yeah, that was definitely a weekend to remember.
And of course, it's one of the more historic tracks in the entire country. So, was it just like when you first stepped in? What was kind of the initial reaction?
Um, well, yeah, the track is amazing, but it was like it was so crowded. It kind of smelled like weed, so I was like a little bit surprised by that. But besides that, like the track is phenomenal, so I was just really happy to be there.
Regardless of the smell, though, it's still a nostalgic thing, though. I mean, it's like a lot of people have done great things
Yeah,
in that facility. So
so true.
obviously, it's got a little bit of magic. I know it's not like Hayward Field where they say the Hayward magic, but still, for indoor track, that's probably the place to be when it comes to racing at the collegiate, professional, and also the high school ranks. But cross country season, that was a little different. There was only 3 races you competed in last year because you had a little bit of a hiccup. But let's talk about those 3 races. And for me, arguably the hands down the best race, both men's and women's in high school cross country last year, was that Woodbridge race. I mean, it was a blast to see you and Elizabeth just get after it against each other, and even with the caliber of level of talent that was in that race. Tell us a little bit about that night and what it's really meant to you to come away with that win at the very, very end.
Yeah, that was like such a special race. So, um, I was just kind of keying up for that race. It was my season opener. I didn't have much of an expectation going in, because I honestly truly didn't know how I was gonna feel, how things were gonna go. Um, and so like it went out like pretty fast, and Elizabeth took it right away, which was amazing. And but no one was really catching her, and so I think at about like a mile in or a mile and a half in, I went up and joined her, and then I could draft off her, we could work together. But yeah, that was like so fun, and I was so surprised I won. Like it was just a stacked field. But yeah, was really lucky to at least race like one awesome race before I got injured. So
Because I mean, like you said, it was an awesome field. I mean, not along with yourself, Elizabeth, Sadie Englehart was there, Riley Glade, Hannah Thompson, Bethany Mahalik, who's now at North Carolina State, Emily Wisniewski. The list goes on. First of all, are you returning to Woodbridge this year? Is that a race that you're looking forward to this year?
yes, yeah.
Gotcha. So, other within that top 10, 8 of those girls are back this year. I know Elizabeth will not be racing it this year, but I mean, that's still a stacked field. What really excites you just about kind of the level of competition that the whether it's the class of 2025 or the class of 2026 that really brings the energy in girls high school cross country right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be like once again a great race. Like we have some phenomenal athletes that are gearing up for senior seasons, junior seasons, sophomore seasons, like just across the board. Like we have some pretty amazing girls that are like looking to do well there. So yeah, it's just a really special race. It's kind of like a special environment because it's almost like a national race in September. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think a lot of my Nike Elite teammates are really looking forward to it. Me and Lily are going up there together, my teammate. So yeah, just looking forward to the whole experience.
What was your favorite part about that race? Whether it was the actual race itself or just seeing the mass amount of races going on at the same amount of time.
Yeah, I actually love that you bring that up because it was really special. There's so many races going on, and there's so like I was watching a ton of races before I even raced myself, and people were just having great times, great performances, running really fast, competing very well. But I think something that was so special was just how many people were out there, like just to cheer and to race as well. It had the environment of like a national meet. And people just really cared about it. Were cheering really loud, so I love that aspect of it.
So when to kind of go along with that idea, when you see that many people out there in high school cross country, How have you felt the sport has grown the last couple of years? Because it really, I mean, popularity wise, I mean, that it seemed like during COVID, like that was really the only sport that people could do without wearing a mask, even though some people had to wear masks, which again, that's a whole nother conversation for another time. But cross country seemed like the sport to go to during such a hard time.
Yeah, and I think that's why like just so many kids are out like running cross country, running track. It's pretty amazing. Like some huge stack teams and like yeah, just a lot of teams come to Woodbridge, and so it's really fun to see everyone. And they're there to cheer on their other teammates, and then they'll stick around for usually that last race, which is the fastest race, and so it just makes for a very special environment.
Now, like you said, you had a bumpy road with just a couple of injuries, but then you managed to bounce back a little bit. You got to race at the Utah State Championships and win that state title. How would you really describe last year? Like you said, it was different. You just went through some hiccups, but at the end of the day, you still won a national title, or not national, a state championship, and then, like I said, national title in track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I that's a great question, and I don't know if there's like one word to describe it, but there was just a lot of like patience that came through that resilience, like looking up to people for examples, and just seeing friends that have been injured previously, and then they came back to do great things, and so it was just like all injuries, kind of like just a sad time, and like wanted to be out there, obviously running, but like I just was really able to lean into like patience and gratitude and just taking things day by day and realizing that I would have my moments again and I just needed to like cheer on others for the time being. So
So when you weren't racing or running,
mhm.
what kind of role did you take on to kind of help your team out?
Yeah, I was just swimming every day, so I could just do that whenever. So I would go to practice, help time splits. I was on crutches and like a boot for a while, so it was kind of hard
Mhm.
to get around. But I would just like do what I could to help out my team and um like help different groups with their splits and timing and such for workouts.
Swimming is another piece of cross training that has really helped people. What's made it helpful for you? Because like I said, a lot of people usually when they cross train, they're either doing the elliptical or the bike.
Mm. Yeah, and like I those are also amazing options, and I'll sometimes hop on the elliptical or bike when I can. But just for this specific injury, I wasn't able to put like anything on my shin, so swimming was a great option that I could do, and yeah, I think we were trying not to overdo it, obviously, because my
Mhm.
body was trying to heal itself. But getting in about like an hour every day of just a solid swim, and I think that helped like kind of keep my aerobic engine going, and so I was able to like translate that into some running fitness after a couple months of running once I started again.
How does Timpview offer swimming?
Oh, like a swim team?
Yes.
Yes. I was not on the swim team, but I did see them. They swim at like so early, like 6 a.m. So sometimes when I would go before school, I would see them. But yeah, they like I just have so much respect for them. They are like such hardcore athletes. So
It's usually during the off season, like during the winter season, because obviously, I mean, yes, there's indoor track, but usually at schools they offer obviously swimming or
mhm.
basketball or wrestling. Was that something that you thought of doing when you were in high school, or was it just running all through?
Yeah, like kind of a little bit, and I do have some friends on the swim team, and so like they would see me sometimes doing my morning swim, and like be like, "Oh, like Jane, you should join swim team," and so like I almost like contacted the coach about that because I mean it's just so fun. They have just such a fun crew. So, but I just ended up doing it on my own throughout that winter time and fall time. But yeah.
Expectations for this, not just yourself, but for this team. I mean, this is your senior season. You're taking on that leadership role once again, and again, this is going to be a squad down in Timpview that has big expectations, and they want to win a state championship. And who knows, maybe even try to punch their ticket to NXN.
hmm Yeah, I think our expectations for this season is we are more like process oriented and we just want to be working hard in the day-to-day and doing what we can to recover and hit our splits, hit our mileage, all that stuff. But we have a special group. We just love each other so much. It's such a big blessing to go to practice every day with your best friends, and be working hard for each other and hearing how workouts go and how this went and just how life is going for them in general. So I think we are just happy that we're all healthy and we're wanting to keep pushing. And yeah, we do have some pretty lofty goals that we would love to hit, but the season isn't going to make or break if we don't make it to NXN and things. That is just something on our horizon to keep pushing for and striving for. But yeah, we want to have a great postseason, and so hopefully we can perform well at NXR, whether that's making it to NXN or not. Yeah, but we're just happy to be here and happy to be working in the day-to-day. So
In particular athletes that the state of Utah, or heck, even the entire nation, should keep an eye out for this fall?
On our team specifically?
Yes.
Yeah, I think, we just have a strong crew, lots of depth, but yeah, we're just looking forward to this season, and me and Lily, and then we have just a couple others that are just amazing individuals. So yeah, we're looking forward to this season.
What's kind of the outlook for you guys? What particular meets should we expect you guys at?
Ooh, we don't get to travel to a lot of races outside the state, so we'll be at state, we'll be at NXR, and that's about it for the bigger competitions ones. Maybe there will be a couple invites against Lone Peak once again, so those will be amazing. But outside of that, we're going to be staying in Utah for races.
It's not hard to believe that this will be your first opportunity to try to qualify for NXN. I mean, I know you were 11th your sophomore season, or I think it was your freshman season. Actually, no, it was your sophomore season. You were 11th in 2022 and didn't get to qualify. But what would it mean for you to punch your ticket to Portland and be on the start line and be among those greats that have gone to NXN?
Yeah, that would just be phenomenal, and that's what we're kind of striving for this season, is staying healthy, and hopefully I can give myself the opportunity to qualify on the day, that being NXR. And so I guess we'll see how things play out, but I'm really looking forward to it. And so far, so good. Things have been going well and things have been rolling. So yeah, I guess we'll see, but that would mean a lot. NXN just has so much history behind it, and so many phenomenal athletes pass through it. So yeah, I'm hoping I can qualify this year.
And a couple of BYU of athletes have won in years past, at least on the men's side. They have one person I think of is Casey Klinger, of course, when he was at American Fork High School. But circling back over to the athletes that are going to be really, really good this year. I mean, I've already addressed it. I mean, I think this is going to be one of the deepest groups we've seen in a long, long time this year, just because with the amount of talent that's back this year. When you look at especially the class of 2025, like yourself, Sadie Engelhardt, Zariel Macchia, Emily Wisniewski, I mean, the list goes on. What about this class makes them so special?
Ooh, I think, well, just the ways we can push each other, and I think Sadie's just been a incredible role model for all of us. How she just had a phenomenal freshman year and just has continued since. She's really raised the level of the game, and just pushed everyone up around her. So yeah, I think a lot of credit goes to her for that. And yeah, I just love competing with the class of 2025 and others. Yeah, it's been a good time.
Certainly has, and like you said, Sadie has raised the game since not even before her freshman years, probably since she was in the middle school days, that she really kind of put a stamp on the running scene. And yourself has done that too. I mean, like I said, it took a couple years, but we're starting to see the progress, and we're seeing the results, not just from you, but again from this entire class, and even the kids behind you in the junior class that have really stepped up their game within the last couple of years. So with that being said, goals, expectations, what are you hoping to accomplish in 2024?
Ooh, I think not a certain, like, I want to win this race necessarily. Like, obviously that would be incredible, but I just want to build, like, keep building on past years. So keep building in my strength, my speed, my resilience, and just all across the board, hopefully setting myself up for like a great college career. That's kind of what I'm hoping to do, and hopefully those times and those places will come along with it. But just hoping to like be going into like college in a good spot.
Someone hoping really to have a healthy season after the last couple of months in this last year. Jane Hedengren, we really appreciate your time. The newest BYU Cougar. Best of luck this cross country season, and we hope to see you down the road at Nike Cross Nationals.
Thank you.